Hello and welcome. My name is Dylan, and today we're going to be talking about collections, or more specifically, what actually is the collections tab and what should you be using it for. So, obviously, the collections tab shows you things that you have collected, right? But what types of things does it show you, and does this provide any value to you while you're playing the game? Well, if we go into the mods tab here in the bottom left hand corner, you can see that it provides a full list of all mods available for each of the slots here. So for the head slot, the arm slot, the chest slot, legs, your class item, and then just general mods. So these would be mods from different activities and things like that. So this here is extremely valuable because it actually shows you what the element type, so you can see here that this is an arc resistance. So if we go into one of these, for example, this is a grenade launcher ammo finder and it is a void mod. So this is only able to be put on a void piece of armor. So you can actually use this tab here to spec out an entire armor set and figure out which mods you want to use and then go and get armor of that element to put those mods on. So that tab is pretty valuable. But what about these other tabs? Well, if you check out the weapons and armor and the exotic tab, these actually show you which weapons you have collected. Now, for some weapons, you'll see that there is a reacquire button down at the bottom. Now, for pinnacle weapons, or ritual weapons, and weapons that only have one perk, so like year one type weapons, you can actually go in here and you can pull out a version of this weapon. So you can see here that this auto rifle only has one perk on it and it allows me to pull it out. But you can see here that this auto rifle, it says that cannot reacquire because of randomized gear. That means that this has the ability to drop with a lot of different perk options, so there is currently no way to get that out. But if you look at Breakneck here, you can see that it actually has the yellow at the top where it says Breakneck, and this is actually it will come out masterworked. That's why it costs 7 enhancement cores to get it out, because this is a pinnacle or ritual weapon and you get this from the Gambit. Now you can pull these out because it doesn't drop with random rolls. It will always be the same roll of Rampage and Onslaught. So you can actually pull out weapons and things from this slot if you need to that aren't randomized rolls. And then the same thing for armor. But if we go into our exotic slot here, every time that you get an exotic in the game, you essentially unlock it forever on your account and across all 3 of your characters if you decide to make more characters. So let's say for the Sweet Business, for example, this is now unlocked permanently on my account. So if I grab a Sweet Business out of here and I delete it at some point, I can always come back to the collections and pull it out. Now, items will drop 20 power levels lower than your current power level without the artifact bonus. So that's why mine is dropping at 986, because my current power level is 1006. So I just wanted to let you guys know that you can come in here and grab exotics at any time. And a lot of times it's actually worth it to, because this only costs legendary shards and gunsmith materials and a little bit of glimmer, it can actually be worth it to just scrap a low level exotic and then just grab a new one out of your collections. Now, the exceptions to this would be armor, because armor that you get as a world drop, they can actually get improved stats. So it can have a higher total stat than, as you see on this skull of Dire Aramkara, this total stat rolls, all of the things there, the mobility through strength, they all add up to only 50. But getting this drop as just a world drop in the wild, or from one of the faded engrams from Xur, or an exotic engram from the season pass, they all have the ability to drop to a stat total of up to 68. So it's obviously valuable to keep stat totals that are higher than 50, because everything that you pull out of collections is going to be around 50 or lower. That one's actually pretty high there at 52, but most of them will be pretty low. So now that we've covered mods, weapons, armor, and exotic weapons and armor, let's quickly go down here to the Flare tab and click into it. Now in the Flare tab, we will see emblems, which emblems really, they fill up your character screen and your postmaster very, very quickly. And all you have to do with them is just store them, right? But anytime that you want to, let's say, just go through your emblems and pick one that looks cool, or one that has the stat options that you would like, then you can simply come in here, and any emblems that you have unlocked, it won't cost you anything. You simply click reacquire down at the bottom there, and it will pull this out and put it on my character, and you can grab these emblems for any of your characters. Now the same thing goes for shaders here, although these do cost legendary shards and glimmer. But any shader that you have unlocked at any point, so let's say it's even a shader, like I think one of these shaders is actually available from, was actually made available from the Eververse store for Bright Dust. So you could have blown a ton of Bright Dust buying a bunch of these shaders from the store, or you can simply buy one, and I think it costs like 40 Bright Dust for one. So instead of buying 10, you just buy the one for 40 Bright Dust, and then you can just come in here and pull the rest out of your collections for legendary shards and glimmer. So like I said, any shader that you have unlocked previously, you can simply come in here and you can pull them out for legendary shards and glimmer. And the last one here in this tab of any importance, these ones, they don't have anything, would be the transmat effects. Now transmat effects get used up and go onto the ship that you put them on. So when you spawn into an area, then you will have that effect when you spawn in if you're using the specific ship that you put this on. But how do you get it again? Is it gone? Can you just use it, or can you only use it once? Well, you can actually come into your collections, and just like the shaders, if you've unlocked it once, so you can see that I have unlocked this one, but I have not unlocked any of these. That means that I could just come in here and I could reacquire this transmat effect and put it on different ships. If I wanted to change my ship in the future but have the same transmat effect, then you can just come in here and grab it from here. Now if we back out again, the last tab in here is the equipment tab. So if we go in here, we can reacquire any ghost shells that we have unlocked, any ships that we have unlocked, or any sparrows that we have unlocked. But if we go down here to Season 5, we'll actually see this Neon Helix Ghost Shell. And you'll see there that it has listed Guiding Light as a perk and Omni Telemetry as a perk. But if we go into the preview here, and we take a look at the ghost, we will see that it has Guiding Light, which is an XP bonus. We'll see that it has Omni Telemetry, which generates gunsmith telemetry data on any elemental weapons. But the interesting thing is you'll see here that it has a random mod. So that means that every time that you pull one of these out of your collections, it will then have a different mod on it. Now if I go into my character menu here, I obviously, as you guys can see up at the top once this loads in on PS4, I have a pretty significant amount of legendary shards, so I'm not too worried about legendary shards. I don't need them for anything. I don't recommend doing this unless you do have an excess of legendary shards and glimmer. But if we come down here to my ghost tab, you can see that I actually have 9 of these ghosts. And why is that? Is this pointless? What is the point of this? So if we look here, it says Guiding Light, Omni Telemetry, and then the random perk is a combo detector for a specific planet. Now there's actually 9 different planets that you can get a combo detector for. So if we look here, this one is the Moon combo detector. This one is the Mars or Hellas Basin combo detector. This one is for Titan, Mercury, Io, EDZ, Tangled Shore, Dreaming City, and Nessus. So I actually have the combo detector for every single planet because I went through and it took a lot of ghosts. I won't say that it didn't because it's all randomized, right? So I ended up getting the 9 ghosts for all 3 of my characters. But so you go in and you just reacquire ghosts until you get the random mod that you want. So for example, for me, I wanted the combo detectors for every planet, so I would just scrap or transfer the ghosts to my other characters if I needed one for that planet, and then just keep pulling them out until I had it for every planet. Now obviously this is super tryhard, you don't need to do this, it's completely up to you, but if you do have an excess of shards or whatever and you do want to do it, that option is there for ghosts that have randomized mods. You can farm them out for the mods, the specific mods that you want. Anyways guys, I hope this video helped. If it did, consider subscribing to the channel for a ton more videos just like this one that'll give you little tips and tricks about the games and things you might not have known and help you overall with your experience in Destiny 2. So I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.
Now it's 2020, clear as tile, Lexus clear as day. No longer move around in fear, disarray.